The only thing that can make Game of Thrones better is Batman. Jaime clapped mockingly. Impressive for a masked freak. Now shall we see who is truly the most infamous man in the Seven Kingdoms? The Kingslayer or the Batman? The House of Wayne exists, and yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. It features Batman running around and fighting crime in Westeros, while the plot of the series remains unaffected, well except for the massive three-way war between Batman, the Joker, and Jaime Lannister. Game of Thrones fans, prepare for your continuity to be shattered. Here are the top 10 Game of Thrones fanfiction crossovers. Arya Stark is my personal favorite character in the entire series, but I've always felt that she's been underutilized, a feeling that I've unknowingly shared with none other than Nick Fury. In a short fanfiction titled The Arya Initiative, Arya Stark is recruited by Nick Fury to the Avengers. After hearing the prophecy and fearing Voldemort, Lily Potter is determined to save her son Harry by sending him to an alternate universe. She does so in Child of Light by calling on the Red God, who decidedly answers. Harry is then transported/reborn in Essos as Harfesto of Lys. 50 Shades of Grey started out as a Twilight fanfiction, turned into its own thing, and now has gone back to being fanfiction. This time, Game of Thrones style. It features the for some reason fanfiction favorite murdering rapist Khal Drogo as the CEO of the Dothraki Holdings and Daenerys Targaryen as the shy college girl. It's a timeless story really, of sex, and sex is not timeless either. It's terrible. Speaking of Dany, instead of getting married to Drogo, she gets married to Loki in this amazing Thor crossover that's unoriginally titled A Tale of Fire and Ice. Despite the beloved fan favorite characters being the most gift people of all time, their relationship only brings out the worst in each other. That being said, who really cares? Let's get them in book 6. I'm gonna try really hard not to make fun of this one, but Misguided Ghosts is a fanfiction that takes place in the world of Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, where Sarah Connor has a dream that she's Cersei Lannister. It features such stunning dialogue as, Kyle, why are y'all in jail? Derek, I kept making fun of Tyrion, who was a dwarf, in my opinion. Kyle, I had sex with Cersei. Derek, Kyle, you are a very bad boy that deserves to be spanked. Kyle, Cersei is a total MILF. Derek, isn't she Sarah? Kyle, she is indeed Sarah. Pure gold. Almost Stranger is this really weird crossover with Glee. You know that show that everybody hates and nobody really watches anymore, and I really hope nobody ever watched it in the first place? Yeah. In A Quiet Thing, Kurt, now son of Robert Baratheon and Cersei Lannister, is sent to Winterfell to be engaged to Robb Stark. I guess Gleesteros is a lot more progressive than Westeros. Apparently the necromorphs of Dead Space have somehow found their way to Westeros in this French fanfiction translated as The Threat of the Monoliths. And no, it's not the best of both worlds. There is also a fanfiction titled Of Blood and Gore, which loops Game of Thrones into the Inception universe because, well, fuck it! And finally, nothing screams unnecessary Game of Thrones crossover like Pacific Rim. Really though, it makes more sense the more you think about it. Game of Thrones is a really deep and realistic world filled with emotional characters with moral qualms and questions, and Pacific Rim has giant robots fighting giant monsters. Like a glove.
It is pretty cool.
What are some really cool Game of Thrones crossovers you guys know about? Let me know in the comments, and if you haven't already, be sure to click right on my face to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.